your host tonight. How are we all doing? Depending whereabouts in the world you are. Here on the Gold Coast in Australia, it is hot, very hot. We've got like temperatures up to 40 degrees. Some parts of Australia, it is still burning with fires. And yeah, it's a bit hazy outside, it's a bit warm, but you know, summer has hit, and so is the festive season leading up to Christmas. So I actually was only just realised as of today that I think for us, it's like, for all of us, it's like 19 days, 19 sleeps, maybe 20, depending whereabouts you are located, until, you know, the big jolly man arrives. So yes, it's like lots of excitement in the air, lots of shops are busy, there's chaotic traffic on the road, the energy, everyone's energy is high. And I guess like what's really important this week is to really listen to your body, coming into the weekend and as of next week, to really listen to your body. I know that, you know, it's for all of us, you know, we're either finishing work or, you know, about to go on holidays leading up. But yeah, really listen to your body and, you know, rest. And I think eating in moderations as well. So it's something that, you know, I know my spirit remind me constantly that yes, we can have fun, but it's all in moderation, and to really look out for everyone else. So yeah, so that's yeah, it's just excitement in the air. So my week has been huge. I have had lots of connections with spirit, connecting them with loved ones, and it's been amazing. It feels like my service with spirit has really stepped up high. Now that I've, you know, I've reached lots of goals recently, but I'm ready to, you know, I'm looking forward to next year. I think it's going to be an exciting year. And my spirit guides and my team that I work with are all very excited to connect. So yeah, so I think probably the most memorable, I guess, for me, readings this week, it would have been something personal to me. I do actually connect. I do see our pets when they pass over, and I had a cat of 17 years, no longer had lived with me, actually decided to live next door in my neighbour's house, and then I moved away, and this lovely neighbour of mine still looked after my cat. So last night in the kitchen, I had my own cat, Raffy, which some of you have met. He was up on the table, but I had another cat, jump out of nowhere onto the table, and my first thought that, you know, it was my cat Passion that had passed away. I didn't know, but I definitely felt in my heart that it was him. He was letting me know that he has crossed over safely into the animal and connected with all my loved ones. So I think probably about 2 hours later, I received a text from my neighbour that my cat had passed away. So, you know, not only do I connect loved ones, I also can connect you with your pets too. And I think it's, you know, our pets are such an important part of our life. They are family to us, and we all share that special bond. Some people, I'm sure, would say they have a more connection with animals than they do with people, and that's okay too. So yeah, so all my fur babies are all together, and it's just really nice to know that, you know, yeah, it's that he arrived safely. So yeah, so that was probably my highlight with all the other spirits that have been around me this week. But the connections with everyone has been beautiful, very healing. Brought a lot of beautiful messages, and especially coming up to Christmas, you know, I know that I'm sure that some of you have lost, you know, loved ones, and this time of the year, it's very important to hold everyone close and to really live in the moment of celebrating every day and enjoying everyone's company. So yeah, so that's my huge week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this seeing if we have any connections yet, but we don't, so I might just keep on talking. So apart from all the loved ones in spirit, my goodness, I've just looking forward to, I guess, my own holiday. I've got them coming up in 2 weeks, but I still will be on like part of A1R Psychic Radio. So yes, I will still be doing my shows, but I'm having a holiday from my work, and it's going to be a great time to spend that with loved ones and friends as well, and just really just taking it easy. I hope that all my spirit guys, my whole spirit team actually go on holidays as well. But I doubt, I'm sure they will be around still bringing through messages for me to connect their loved ones to. So I'm just waiting to see. So apart from that, let me just see what else. I was drawing some cards, and it was interesting because I know I was talking about, really listening to your body around this busy festive season, and really looking out for one another during the community. The one card I just wanted to show quickly was listen to your body. So it was very much, needed a message for everyone to really just take it easy over the next few weeks. Alrighty, so we're going to connect with Chelsea in India, USA. Hello, Chelsea. How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Very well, thank you. How can I help you tonight?
I just wanted to get a reading about my love life.
Yep. Okay. Wow. Okay. I have this image at the moment in front of me, and I have this image of your heart, around your heart chakra, and it looks like you've had it's been very emotional lately for you. It feels like in the last 6 months has been up and down for you, because what I'm seeing for you is that I've got your beautiful heart, but I can see the tears, I can see the tears falling away. But not only that, when I say that it's been an emotional roller coaster for you, it can be tears of joy as well, not just tears of sadness. So it just feels like it's been up and down in the last 6 months. Can you resonate with what I am seeing at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm feeling as well. And I also feel that, in the past you have been hurt dearly by someone very close to you. And I've also see that do you have 2 children? Because I keep seeing the number 2 around you.
I have 3.
3 children, okay. And does all 3 children live together? Because I'm just wondering why I've seen 2, but it doesn't matter. I don't always get it right. But I keep seeing, do they all live together under the one roof?
What was that?
Do all your children live together underneath the one roof?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what I've got going on with you, with your love life around your children as well, I feel like you've, because I feel like this new relationship, I feel like the relationship that you're in now it isn't all that old, but at the same time, I feel like you have been friends prior to that. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And it's also, I feel that you're very protective of your children and who you let into their life as well as your own. And I can see that because you've been hurt in the past, that, you're very protective of your babies, and, want to make sure that, everything's, that what you're feeling is correct. Like, I feel the excitement around your heart, but I also feel that, there's, I guess, some unanswered questions. Are there some unanswered questions in your relationship at the moment? But it also feels like in regards to whether your partner at the moment, like whether he has kids to somebody else, does this resonate with you with what I'm seeing?
I was in a relationship for 11 years, and we just recently split up. And I was talking with someone else and kind of developed feelings for them, and still kind of in between, like, which way to go.
Okay, yeah. And I guess and this happened very quickly for you. It really took you quite by surprise, didn't it, meeting this gentleman at the moment? And but I also feel that, the relationship of, was it 17 years with your last partner, it feels like emotionally you had disconnected, and it feels like it's, for even maybe half the years, maybe, even the last 5 years, that you have been earning for somebody to love you as much as, the love that you had given to your husband at the time, your ex. So what I'm feeling and seeing for you is that, all the excitement that you're feeling at the moment, it can be quite nervous, but what I'm also seeing is that, just to take one step at a time and really just see where this relationship is going to go without rushing into anything too seriously. But at the same time, you know within yourself if it's right. But I know that just what I keep hearing is that not to rush, not to rush.
Okay.
I also, and is there driving distance? 'Cause I keep saying whether the partner with you or with now, is there some driving distance? Or unless I'm seeing that he drives a bit to get to you, does he live far by is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he lives an hour away.
Yeah, because that's why I see there's quite a distance as well. And I feel like that, each day the heart is, it's stronger for this other person in your life. I just see that taking things slowly, but I also see by the next 6 months, I also see a big shift coming into your life, and whether that, that your current loved one moves closer to you.
The current one?
Yes, the new one.
Will move closer to me?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There seems to be some kind of move, unless you make the move. There seems to be someone moving to live closer, but it feels like it's not going to happen until next year, at least from now until the next 6 months. Yeah. So it feels really exciting, but at the same time, it just, it feels like the traveling can cause a lot of frustration as well.
Wow, that seems spot on.
Yeah, and I can feel that frustration as well. And I know that every morning that you wake up, it's like, it's, you get closer each day, but it sure makes the relationship stronger because of the distance that of how far your loved one is away.
Wow.
It's exciting times, and it's just to really just keep on. Everything seems to be moving forward with you. Yes, there's always going to be questions, but sometimes if we worry too much about the future, it can cause that anxiety as well. So to really just take each day, each week as gentle as possible with one another, and you definitely, it's definitely going to be worth the wait until that, until the move is closer.
I'm excited about everything that you're saying because it's like what I've been feeling.
Yeah, and I can feel it. I can see it as well, and it feels really good. It's just, I'm really excited for what's to come for you, and it's lots of new beginnings for you both. But the best part is that you've got this solid, beautiful relationship, so solid, and it's, because you are so far away. So it's like, you can't get through the day without thinking about him. He's always in the back of your mind, and vice versa, because I feel the love that he has for you is quite strong as well.
Wow. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Will my ex ever move on?
Yes, of course, because what I see for him is that it's going to take a while for his heart to heal. But at the same time, it's going to be a time for him to find himself. And I feel that over the last 17 years, it feels like he's kind of lost himself a bit on who he is, and that sense of enjoyment that just seems to have disappeared. So when he finds himself, I see that he's going to start embracing new changes and, happiness back into his life. But at the moment, it feels like even in the next, even next year is just going to be as hard as what it is. But at the same time, he knows that it was, the best decision was the breakup, because you've still got, your beautiful children.
Right.
I just see that for him, it's just going to take a lot longer. But I don't see him, like I see him moving on, basically. So it's just going to be a matter of time. And, I keep seeing the 9-month mark, but a lot can happen in 9 months and a lot of change for him, which is great.
Good. I just want him happy.
Yeah, definitely. Know that he gets to see you happy, and, for both of us, for both of you, that's, is what we all want for one another, is to be happy and to be able to find their, their twin soul mate. So it's just a new chapter for everybody, and we're on our own personal journey, and he definitely will be okay. Okay, Chelsea, I'm going to have to end our reading together, and I thank you for our time and connecting with A1R Psychic Radio, and I wish you all the best with your new love and the new beginnings that are to begin, especially next year as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's okay, Chelsea. See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, we have Tara from Quitman, USA. Sorry about that. Hi, Tara. How are you? Hello, Tara. Do we have her? Let's just see. We'll just wait a few seconds. We may have lost. Yeah, she's not too far away, but until Tara logs on, I keep seeing blue around her, so interesting to see what kind of communication issues that she has going on with somebody close to her. So this is always, like it's everyone logs on, logs off, but I know this connection is still there. I can feel Tara, but I can't hear her yet, so let's just see. So for Tara, let me just see. I might as well just keep on talking in case she looks back at this, but I keep seeing communication is huge for you at the moment with somebody close to you. Whoa, okay, here we go. Tara, hello, how are you?
Hi.
How are you today?
Hello.
Good.
I am doing great.
Yeah, you're good. When you're offline, I keep seeing the colour blue around you, and I feel like communication to somebody close to you is very important at the moment. Have you got some issues around someone in your life that has to do with some kind of communication problem that's happening at the moment?
Just a moment.
Did you say just a moment, or just, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Okay, I apologize about that. Sorry.
That's okay. Do you have somebody close to you that has some communication issues going on around you at the moment? Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you do have some communication problems with a loved one close to you at the moment. Okay. Let's see who else we have, because we have lost Tara. There definitely was a communication problem between my end. Okay. So I definitely see lots of colours. Sometimes I see get lots of images before somebody logs on. At the moment, I keep seeing trees. So it'd be interesting to see someone that's very close to connecting with nature or has nature at their back step, at their back door. Let's see. Okay. Well, we get somebody online. I know that. Yeah. Yes, so yes, about that, let's just see what else we can talk about. Okay, so we've got the weekend coming up. I know that we have a new moon. No, not a new moon, full moon actually, next week on the 12th, if you're in Australia. So the full moon is all about tying up loose ends tying up loose ends that you feel like you haven't achieved. There's things that you've been wanting to do. Depending on what that is, whether, to really look at whether starting it now is the right decision or until waiting for next year. But it's all about tying off loose ends and also letting go of things that are really weighing you down, especially health. I'm really drawn to the health around December. It just feels like I know that how chaotic and fast Christmas seems to come and go. Everyone seems to get sick, but because everyone's stressed out. So enjoy joy, look after your body. Okay, so we have Annette from Victoria,
Hello.
British Columbia, Canada. Hello, how are you, lovely?
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, good to see.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to see. It's good to speak to you. And I know that when we were trying to connect to you, at your back door, do you have lots of green around you, lots of trees? Are you close to nature?
Yeah, I do have lots of trees around my house. Yes.
Yeah, because when I was because I had no one online and I knew that you were connecting and I was already getting some images and I could see the beautiful nature at your back door. So basically you're surrounded by all these trees and green. So it feels really uplifting and it just feels so good to be able to bring nature indoors as well. And I feel that you're you're more grounded. And, whether you either talk to your plants, but I know that your love for nature is big and it's something that you enjoy every day connecting with.
Oh, thank you. I'm just wondering, I had a son that passed away in 2014.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering what he is doing up in the spirit world. Like, how is he doing and what is he doing?
Yep. So what I have at the moment coming through, I have this gentleman with me, but he's showing me something about his car. Was he into cars at all?
No.
Okay, was his accident anything
He
to do
never
with
had a
motorcycle?
car.
Pardon?
No, he never had a vehicle.
Okay, and he didn't have any kind of trauma around the head at all?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I'm getting through. He keeps showing me something about a car, and I keep seeing the driving wheel is what I keep seeing. So that's why I'd asked whether he had some kind of connection with cars.
Oh.
But what I keep seeing, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So yeah, I keep seeing cars around you, but what I keep seeing is that, the active life that he lived here on Earth with you is that it's quite active over there, because whether he was into adrenaline, really he had high energy. And what he's showing me is that he was not afraid to try new things.
Yes. He was exactly like that, yes.
Yeah, and that's what he's showing me. And so what he did on Earth, he still does over in the spirit world, and he still continues to have those adrenaline rush and, and to enjoy life. He lived life to the fullest, and he was quite young, I feel, when he passed, because I can see him. But he's also I'm very drawn to him trying new things, and he was a risk taker, and to the point that, he had lots of friends around him. But what he keeps showing me is that he keeps bringing to my attention, do you have a bracelet or some kind of bracelet? It may have even been a bracelet of his, but he's really showing something in a jewelry box, but it feels like it goes on the wrist.
Oh, I do have one bracelet.
Yeah. And is there a connection with him regarding this bracelet?
Not really. No, I'm just wondering, like I'm in the process of getting my grandson. I'm just wondering what he would tell me to do. Like, what would he want me to have his son live with me? Or would he, like, I'm in the process of not knowing where my grandson's going to be. If he's going to be with my father or if he's going to be with me.
Yeah, and everything seems to be up in the air, because I keep seeing stairs. Unless where he is, it feels like you have to go to great heights to be able to make that connection happen again. I also feel, are you in contact with him? I feel like more around Christmas time that you will have this connection with him.
Oh, that's what I was told. I was told around December, yes, that we would be seeing our grandson again.
Yeah, and that's what I keep seeing around Christmas, that you're going to have this beautiful connection again. It feels really soon, and it's just within just a matter of time. And I know that he's very close. You feel really close to him, but he's definitely got his dad. He's looking, over him.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. I always wonder, like, what my son's doing and what he's thinking and what does he want for his son? What does he want us to do? Like, does he want his son to live with me? Or does he want his son to live with his dad?
Yeah, it's also what I'm getting is that the connection's strong to join everyone up, and that's why I was showing the bracelet, because it's the shape of a circle to bring everyone together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I've only got 30 seconds left. Just let me see how long I have with you. I just want to make sure that if I keep talking with you, I don't disconnect. But I know that, it's yours, definitely Christmas time is a celebration for everyone, and I also see that, there's lots of new beginnings next year for you. I'm very drawn to, I keep seeing lots of, whether your son, you've got lots of clothes to pass down as well.
Welcome to Divine Guidance with Angel. So just in case you do lose me tonight, I just noticed on the intro that I'm having a little lagging on my end on the internet, so please hold tight. Dave will get me back as soon as he can. All right, so you can get a hold of me at crystalclear101.com, or you can get a hold of me at Cosmic Earth Angel at outlook.com, or just tag me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Switch, follow me on LinkedIn. I'm on a lot of those sites. So just go week, I've had a lot of phone calls and messages regarding grief. Well, I guess the universe is telling me what I should be talking about. So the thing with grieving, okay, that's a loaded question because there's so many types for grief. We can have a loved one that we've lost. We can lose an important item that was given to somebody that we love, a family member. It can be a divorce. It can be a family pet, and so on and so on. So on. Depression is also a type of grief or a loss of oneself. Health issues are also stuff that we can be grieving over. So just know that there's many different types. Everything in the world is a yin and a yang, and with happiness comes grief, comes loss. With finding comes losing. It's a balance, okay? And there's no right or wrong way to grieve. There's no set time to grieve. Just know that I'll use an example, if you lose a loved one, just know that there's more than one person in the family that's also lost a loved one. And everybody grieves at different stages. So don't hold things or grudges against at different levels, okay? It's the same thing with diseases and health issues. If one person in the family is, say, diagnosed with cancer, and the next, like your partner, is reacting differently than you are regarding the diagnosis, just realize that you're both grieving just at different levels, but you're grieving different things, all right? Just, it's compassion and understanding when you deal with the loss, okay? When we get into the holidays, these are the toughest times for a lot of people, and a lot of people grieve, and a lot of people get depressed. But the best part about the Christmas holidays is it's a time for miracles in all shapes and sizes. Christmas is about reflection on the past year, the good and the bad, changing what we wish to do and doing for others unconditionally. Like everybody, I don't know how to put it other than Christmas, in my opinion, has become materialistic. It's about what size of gift and how much you spent. And to me, the true meaning of Christmas has been lost because it's about unconditional love. It's about doing for others and not expecting anything back. So people at Christmas are lonely. They don't have any family. Their friends are all gone to their sides of the family. So show some kindness and show some generosity and go in a direction of just making a phone call, saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, or showing up on somebody's doorstep that you know that's home alone at Christmas time and just sit there and visit with them. It goes a long way because you're gifting from your heart, from your soul, and you will feel better and it'll be easier to get the Christmas joy coming in because you go from the heart, which basically comes into the card for everybody that's watching, which is sacred self, okay? And that's expressing your gifts. That's dancing. That's doing unto others as you wish done unto you. Spreading the joy. I mean, to you, you may take for granted that you have a roof over your head and this big Christmas meal on your kitchen table at holidays. But there's some people who don't have that, who are on the streets, who have nothing. And just having a meal delivered to them is a miracle for them. It doesn't seem like it to us, but to them, that's a miracle because they didn't have it. They haven't had it. It's a grief. It's a loss for them. And for somebody to unconditionally go and deliver this and spend time with them and wish them happy holidays or a Merry Christmas just makes their world so much happier. All right. So just tag me, text me, email me. Tell me what you love to do for your Christmas holidays and what do you do to lift your Christmas spirit show. All right. So I see we have our caller, Roman in Montreal.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Okay. I'm actually doing quite good, and I was just in Montreal over September that night. I already miss it. So I would love to see what the Christmas lights are over there. Because you guys celebrate with all the good food. The potato pie, the sugar pie.
People are starting to lighten up and everything.
So do you
Can you just give me a second? I'm also working at the moment. Just going to advise my customer.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Okay. So let's just keep talking about the grieving and the Christmas joy and the decorating until she's able to come back. So, like I was saying, text me, email me, let me know what you do. I love hearing Christmas stories and I love hearing the miracles that happen on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. The things that we do for other people and things that other people do for us always brings joy. When we're not doing unto others, we seem to lose a part of ourselves and we seem to get lower in our energy, which then opens us up to be getting sick. So whether it's a cold, whether it's a flu, we just attract it. If we can keep our energy and our spirits up, we are way healthier in the long run. So everyone, just give from your heart. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the big gifts. Worry about the memories, the good memories, the laughing, the giggling.
Angel, can you hear me? I'm back.
Hi. Okay. So I have your card. I will just kind of put it up here. And you've got the heart awakening. So that tells me that your giving and receiving is in balance. Okay. Your of self-love. Does that make sense for you?
Sorry?
Does that make sense to you?
You're cutting off. I can't hear you. Oh, I finally have my customer. Just one moment, please. I apologize.
Okay. Okay. Am I cutting out? Can everybody hear me? Okay. So I'm just going to keep going. She can catch up by watching. So that's more her accepting her divine self. That's her giving a balance in the giving and receiving areas. She is a woman, when I'm picking up on the energy, she is a woman who does a lot for others and puts herself on hold. So knowing this, she needs to start balancing. All right. So this will give her the opportunity to look within and look at what she can change to manage herself in the giving and receiving end so that it's a little more balanced. She's pretty good at it, but it is the holiday season and she's more in the giving than the receiving at the moment. So she'll have to do a little bit of work. I'm just getting kind of a download here. I gotta get a little clarity on it. Okay. Oh, I wish she was on and she could answer. Oh, okay. I'm getting more in the aspect that she's going to have a lot of changes coming in 2020 in the area of finances and family. So when you get to see this video, if you still need to get a hold of me, you can just email me at cosmicearthangel@outlook.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Crystal Clear 101 Holistic Healing and Products, and you can message me in depth on it. Considering the time and the clock that we have, I'm just going to move on to my next caller, who is Jenny in Houston.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Am I cutting out? Can you hear me okay?
I could hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've got your card, which is the call to action card. Okay. So this is a take charge and lead by example. So it's a walk the talk type of card. This tells me that you've had I'd say a colorful life, but you've had a lot of life experience, and you can help a lot of people because you're able to walk the talk because you've been there, done that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay. Is there anything in particular, or
I would like to know about working.
okay. Well, there's definitely something in the pipeline. If you're not working right now, there is an opportunity coming. If you are working at the moment, you have an opportunity to move up, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you been thinking? They're showing me books, so that can be either you're thinking of going back to school, or the job position that you're going to be dealing with a lot of paperwork. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It does, okay. You're giggling, so I must be kind of dead on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, are you considering moving?
I just moved. Yes, ma'am.
You just moved from an apartment to a house. They're showing me that it's sort of like you have less chores to do.
Okay. I'm moving from an apartment to a house. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that means you'll have more chores to do. You'll have longer. Okay. In the front of your house, you need to plant some roses. And it's almost like they're showing me that there needs to be a rose, if that's possible.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So does the front do you kind of have the walkway up, and then there's kind of pillars with the veranda before you enter the house?
Uh-huh. I haven't moved yet. We've been looking.
Okay. So this house that I'm seeing has the 2 pillars with a veranda in front of the door, and they're in the front. You can put flower beds, and you should have a rose bush on either side of the stairway going up. Okay, and then they're showing me that you need to put colorful flowers in there. All right.
Okay.
And go with what feel like the other flowers. Go what feels good. All right. Now, rose bushes kind of is a plant that absorbs the negative ley lines, and so any plant that has thorns is really good for that. Okay. So keep that in mind, because I see that coming for you. And this place is going to be closer for you to travel to and from work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So don't give up, because it is coming. Okay. Now, that financial problem that you guys have been wondering about, it's going to work itself out. They're showing me it's just you just need is going to fall right into place, and everything's just going to be like a domino effect. And come 2020, it's going to be like your life just exploded, and you're going to be starting a new job. You're going to be moving. It's going to be just one snowball after another, and you're going to be like, but that's okay, because you've had this in the vortex for a while, and it's all going to just kind of flow together for you. Are you married?
No, ma'am.
Well, you're going to be soon. They're showing me a commitment. So whether it's actually in a church or in front of whomever to say I do, or there will be a commitment where you're living together, but there is going to be a solid consistency for you in that area of your life. Do you have a boyfriend right now?
Yes, ma'am. Well, it's kind of like the beginning of a boyfriend.
Kind of. Okay, so is he kind of like 5'8", 5'9", and he has silvery hair?
I haven't met him in person. I worked with him, but I haven't been on a date with him. But we've had a lot of communication on the phone.
Okay, so this is what they're showing me. So he's going to be around 5'8", 5'9", with silvery hair. And this is going to be the guy that will be coming into your life that you're going to kind of have a commitment with. Okay, you just need to kind of honed in, grounded, meditate, and picturing what is it that you truly want. Okay, because they're kind of showing me in an aspect of you have a lot of things out in the universe, the vortex, whatever you wish to call it, that you've asked for, and they're kind of wanting to know, what do you want them to hone in on? What do you truly want? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
That goes the same with work. You've got to get a little more specific in the area. It's coming. They show me. They're not going into the in-depth of what it is. So you need to get a little more centered on what is it that you truly, truly want. Okay? Now, did somebody in your family hurt their lower back? Lower back, kind of right hip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
My mother.
Did she have a fall?
It's been a while, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well.
Oh, my grandmother, she just fell. That's who it is. My grandmother, she just fell and got a shiner on her eye.
I was going to say, well, she may want to go back back to the that long, like the pain is really strong. So if this would be then your grandmother, and have they x-rayed her hip? Did they find a hairline?
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'd love to say to go back for a second opinion, because I'm feeling the pain in my hip, but they're also showing me like a crack. So if it didn't show up in the crack, which is why she's in so much pain, and she's going to have one nasty bruise, because she also got her tailbone pretty good when she went down. Now, does she?
Yes, ma'am.
Does she have heart issues?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, that's almost making me feel like she had the heart issue is what created her to have the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. I would keep an eye on her. Is she in a home or is she by herself?
She's by herself, but my aunt goes and checks on her all the time.
Yeah, I think they may want to start looking that she may need a little more help, especially right now with her hip. She's going to need help in getting her chores done, her laundry, her dishes, her meals, because it is like, I only feel a percentage of,
yes, ma'am,
and I am in pain. Okay, like it is shooting up. It's coming up, like the pain is coming up under my right eye. Like it's just shooting right up the right side of me, and it's kind of coming in or around the front. So that's telling me that she's in a lot of pain. So you guys may want to check in on her a little more and give her a little more help. Now,
yes, ma'am.
Is your grandfather on the other side?
Yes, ma'am.
So your grandfather on the other side?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay.
He is.
Yeah, he's kind of he's a chatter. He loves to talk.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So he's like giving me a list of to tell you guys that you need to do for grandma. So it's basically like he can see what she needs done, and he's very concerned, loves her to the moon and back, if that makes sense. He's telling me to say I love her to the moon and back. So as long as that makes sense to her, to you, and he wants her to have more care. Like she needs more help. And he's very like on it, because this isn't the first time. She's had a few little incidents that she's never really told you guys about. Okay? So now he does she have stairs in her house? Because he's making me feel like she almost fell down the stairs.
She used to. Well, she has like a couple steps in her front yard, to come out of her back door and to come in her front door. So yes.
He's making me feel like she almost fell down the stairs. That she became very lightheaded, and that she almost went like fell down. So he's really, really, really okay. And as for you, my girl, do you have, he's making me feel like you have high blood pressure. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
It does?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So he can see everything, and he needs you to take care of that. It's not something that you can push off, because that will lead to heart issues, and he's making me feel like the heart issues run in the family.
Yes, ma'am.
Family.
That's yes.
Homicide. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who has the trouble breathing? Because right now my chest is just closing up, so it's almost like emphysema, asthma. It's trouble breathing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, my dad.
Your dad. Yeah, he needs to get that checked out. Okay? Because I know I'm not a doctor, but it's making me almost feel like it's a bronchitis more than a pneumonia, but it can turn into pneumonia. So he needs to get that, especially the cough, checked out. Okay?
Okay.
So do you have any other questions? Because I nailed you with
No,
a lot of
ma'am,
stuff.
that is great. You answered a lot. Thank you so much. God bless
Big hug
you.
for me. Yeah, you give Grandma a great big hug from Grandpa for me, because he wants me to just give a great big hug, and make sure to tell her he loves her from the moon and to the moon and back. I have to say that right.
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am,
I'm
I
saying it
will.
wrong. He loves her to the moon and back. Okay. So
Okay.
just pass that on to her. All right, and then you guys maybe might have to do a little planning on how you guys can give her a little more help.
Hi, I'm Dean, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hi everyone. Hello, thank you once again for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to be here. Hopefully you've all enjoyed and recovered from your Thanksgiving, which I have been assured from my American friends was an absolute hoot of a time. So hopefully you're all back into the swing of your daily routines again, and still enjoying life and still giving gratitude and thanks for everything that we have in our lives. There's a few things going on for me this week. The weather has been absolutely terrible in Sydney. We've had, if it's not bushfires, it's a lot of smoke. It's and breathing difficulties for a lot of people here at the moment. So most of us are cooped up inside. So hopefully in the Northern Hemisphere and wherever you are tuning in throughout the world, your weather is a lot more forgiving than ours is right now. So, yeah. I've got a few crystals with me today. I've got some cards out. I've got my cog chart, so we're ready to get into it and see what life brings about for us this time. Have had numerous readings this week all about changes in energy levels. So we've come from a very chaotic time around that October, November, and now we're starting to feel a lot more calm, I suppose, even though we're going into the silly season or the crazy season that Christmas can sometimes bring about. There's a sense of calmness around the energies. So it could be something to do with Jupiter going into Capricorn as far as transits are concerned. So that's quite a nice placement for a lot of people to have. It's certainly a lovely placement for me to have because it means that my luck will change in my career and what I'm doing in my life as far as 10th house or career and jobs and what we do for how we make a living has been looked upon favourably. So all my lights are lining up, all the stars are in alignment for me at the moment. So it's a really very pleasant time. So hopefully that you're all tapping into that lovely energy and enjoying the stars aligning for you as well. So we're going to take some callers in a moment, which I'm looking forward to. It's fast becoming less nerve-wracking for me and much more exciting now. So I have had some listeners reach out during the week to me, so I'd like to have a big shout out to a lady called Leah. Thank you very much for your lovely, kind message. Hope you don't mind me shouting out to you, but I just your lovely message was very nice. It was really nice to receive, so I thought I'd let you know that as well. So yeah. And of course Molly, who always tunes in, so thank you very much for doing that as well, Molly. So it's very nice to have a following all the way over in the States. So I'll have to put this on my roadshow places to visit, I think. It's certainly growing. My roadshow is definitely growing. So far, I've only got nationwide in Australia, looking to go to New Zealand, but obviously the States is a runner-up, really fast runner-up that I didn't see coming. So that's really, it's a lovely blessing. So thank you all very much for doing that and participating in that as well. So very cool, very cool. So last week, I think I unveiled my black quartz. Still have her with me today. I pulled her out quite a number of times this week to have a little play with her and see what she's capable of and what she's doing. It's actually a really nice energy. I loved her when I first met her, but I'm super head over heels in love with her now as well. So she's just, yeah. If you are into crystals or you like them or you're just not sure where to start, there's so much information online. There's some stuff on my website as well. I've got a workshop on crystals and how to tap into crystals. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm an encyclopedia of crystal information. Most of them are really pretty, and then I go, oh, that's so pretty, and then I work out what it is and what the healing properties are from there. But there's so much information out there. I would highly recommend that you choose your crystals intuitively rather than going out there and trying to find the crystal that you think is the right fit for you. It actually might be something better out there for you. So if you walk into a crystal store and pick up the one that resonates the most, the one that's the prettiest, the one that you find that you just don't want to put back down, that's the crystal for you. Then work out what the healing properties are. So yeah. All right, we have a caller. We're going to slip straight into it. Excellent. Love it. I'm so fast, and sometimes I have to slow things down, and I like going super fast. Got so much to say. So we're going to shoot across to Kelly in Somerville. Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What can I do for you?
Well, I just want to know if I have any loved ones that are trying to connect with me, and also maybe some relationship advice.
Sure. Are you seeing somebody? What's your current relationship status?
I am engaged.
Yeah. Okay. I think what the issue is here for you, I think some of the people that you're perhaps attracting into your life are not emotionally available. I'm kind of getting, when you said about relationship advice and a little bit of guidance around that, I saw a man walking towards you, but then he turned his back and walked away from you. And I kind of get the feeling that is a commitment issue, or I'm not entirely sure whether I want to be with this person or not. And what we're really looking for is a man that walks straight up to you and puts his arms around you, as opposed to turns his back and goes, oh, I'm not sure. So I'm not, I know that you've been deeply hurt in the past, and there are some little emotional walls around protecting yourself so that doesn't happen again. And we all do that. That's human nature, you know, that just, I had them for a number of years, so I can relate to you. The thing is, though, that when we have those walls and we look at them as a means for preserving ourselves and preserving our energy, and so we don't get hurt, sometimes it stops people from being able to see through those walls, because it looks like we might have something to hide, or we're not being our authentic selves. And we're not really being our authentic selves because we're so worried about getting hurt again that we're kind of keeping some of our stuff in reserves. So we've got, you know, something to cling to. We're not just going in head first this time into the next relationship. Right. There's a nice man coming in for you. I want to say his name's Tony, Anthony, Tone, something along those lines. He's just got a really masculine feel about him, but not, can we say caveman? He's a proper masculine man. He's just not a beating chest man, okay? he's kind of nice. He's a bit more quieter. He'd rather probably, he's not that party animal that wants to go out all the time. He likes to balance going out with staying home. Bit like yourself and your own energy. You know, people are great, but you need some time out too. And he's just a nice person. He does like animals, so hopefully that works with you as well. And look, I'm thinking he's not that far away. I can kind of feel him. He's a bit taller, around that 6'1" mark. You do feet and inches over there, don't you? Hopefully. Don't make me convert it. I think he's around 185, 186 centimetres, if you do centimetres. Yeah, I'm a medium. I'm not a mathematician, so forgive me if that's wrong. But he's just nice. He's a nice man. It's not going to be one of those power moments when you meet him, okay? Because it's a more mature relationship than what you've received from others in the past. Does that make sense?
Yes. My fiance, his middle name is Anthony.
Ah, right. Okay. And where does he fit in all this?
I don't know. I mean, you say mature. He's older than me, so.
Okay. I wonder if it's a new one coming in, or he just sees the light and makes some drastic changes. Is he the flighty man? Was he a bit, can't sit still? Was that him?
Is he what? I'm sorry.
Was Anthony the man that couldn't sit still? He liked to run around and do things and be involved in everything. Was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's the same person, because he would have to do like a 180-degree turn to, he would have to change in a lot of ways. And I just don't think that his path is in alignment with your path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've probably in the last 3.5, they're saying 3 years and 8 months. They're being cheeky buggers now. The last 3 and a bit years, you've looked at things differently. You've changed the way you look at things. You changed the way just the way you talk to yourself. Your observations have been, you've been paying a bit more attention to little things that may not have necessarily you've noticed in the past. So it's been a big spiritual journey for you the last few years. 3 years and 8 months. They keep saying 3 years and 8 months, so I don't know what that is. You might want to work out what happened 3 years and 8 months ago. But it's for you, it's a nice, you're sort of coming out of attracting those style of people that are not in alignment with you. So it's really important for you now, and in your own mind as well, not just me chatting with you, but that you have that person that is working towards that common goal with you, and that's working towards that common journey, enjoying the path together, as opposed to being two very individual people and having a bit of a tug of war over which path is going to be followed. So it's really nice that you've reached that point in your life. It's just really cool. I like it. How are you feeling about that all?
I feel good. I feel right now I've kind of went through a little rough patch, but I feel like everything's kind of starting to come back up a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the grieving process too. And even though, when relationships expire and we go our separate ways, there's still a grieving process, I think, that we all need to go through. And some of those memories, just like when you lose a puppy, or you lose your favorite animal, or you lose a loved one, those little triggers come up every now and then, and we stuff surfaces and we work through it. And it's just, I still think that that's part of the grieving process. And I don't think it's got anything to do with the level of love or whether it's a really nurturing relationship. I think it's just the gravity of the lessons that we learnt during that relationship or that friendship or whatever that interaction was that we had with that person. So the fact that what I'm really happy with is that you're able to identify that that was part of the process and that you were able to work through that and come out the other side. So that's a huge testament to you being able to do your spiritual work on yourself and get yourself in that right place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. A very, very nice place for you to be in. You can look forward to 2020 being less taxing on you, less draining on you, okay? It's just nicer things are about to come into play for you because you've done a lot of soul-searching and that's about to pay dividends for you, okay?
Oh, good.
Lovely. Excellent. Thank you so much for your call, Kelly. You take care.
Thank you. You too.
See you later.
All right. Thank you.
What a lovely lady. It's so cool when we do this sort of work that we're able to see people and tune into their frequency of where they've come from and how many things they've worked through and their layers to get where they are right now. And because I'm so in love with our self-growth and the whole evolution of ourselves, that when I see it like that as clearly as I just did with Kelly, it's such a buzz for me because the ultimate best gift you can give yourself is nurturing and self-development and growth, and it's just amazing. One day I'll tell you my story on Moonstruck, and then you can see why I'm so passionate about really being our favourite subjects and learning about ourselves as much as possible so we can uncover and take all those layers away and look for, our higher self and do things towards our highest good. It's really cool. It's very, very cool. I love it. So if you haven't already noticed. Okay, let's have a look. We've got a lady called Chantel from Baytown in Texas. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. I have to say that each person that I speak to in the States have got such a different accent. It's really kind of cool to hear so many different accents, all from what you perceive as a one country. It's amazing. Very cool.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm from Alabama. I'm just here in Texas.
Ah, okay. So that's different again, isn't it? It's a different accent again.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Wow. I think us Aussies all speak the same. I'm not convinced that we're quite as different as the Americans, that's for sure. What can I do for you?
I have been experienced, I don't know if you deal with my situation, but I have been dealing with spirits in my home, and I just, how do I explain it? I don't know if it's a good energy or a bad energy or what's going on. My daughter, I have a 2-year-old daughter, I'm sorry. Sometimes she's scared of it, and sometimes she plays with it. My son, he plays with it. My stepson, he's here off and on, and he's scared of it. And one night he was like, Mommy, he calls me Mommy. He's like, Mommy, she scared me. And I asked who. He pointed in my guest room, which, nothing was there. And I let him sleep with me, and he was like, Mommy, she wants you. And he was pointing to something, and I couldn't see it, but I'm a very spiritual person, and I could feel something there, but I can't, I think my children can see it.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to see,
That's the thing with kids, isn't it? They're so receptive to, they don't have all those environmental changes, and it's not they're not talked out of, anything that they might, or it's not dismissed as in children. Like, they come through seeing things so clearly. And you're definitely seeing something. There's actually two spirits there, okay? So there's one that's a little bit cheekier, which is the one that can be a little bit intimidating. The other one, though, is quite a friendly sort of soul. They're both human-based entities, okay? So there's nothing too weird going on aside from dead people in your house. They actually passed away not that far away from you, okay? And I'm going to say that one of them is a little child. I kind of feel that it's the female energy that is the smaller child, okay? That's the friendlier one. The other one gets a little bit stroppy every now and then, but I think it's just because frustration more than a meaning of intimidating or frightening or anything like that. I think it's more frustration that they're not getting heard. Has stuff been moved around your house yet? Like, if you come home and you put your car keys somewhere and then the car keys are not there when you go to get them shortly after? Has that sort of stuff started happening yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, all right. We'll give that a little bit of time. When did you move into the house?
Actually, I've been living here a year now.
Okay, cool. All right. So if they're not moving your stuff yet, give it a little bit more time, because they do want to talk to you. You're clairsentient, okay? So that means that you can clearly feel them, which is what you said before, but I can confirm you're definitely clairsentient. You're empathic as well, and you've passed on those beautiful qualities to your children, which is why they can see and hear these people so clearly. You can put boundaries in place with them, okay, by saying that they're not allowed to come in the bedrooms at night time when your children are trying to sleep. You can do other things like, you need to find somewhere else to hang out after 5 p.m. at night time. This is my family time. You can do things like that. You are in charge. I know that some people think that that's just crazy, but I have a lot of spirit dropping into our home, and I always have boundaries with them. They're not allowed to come with me to the toilet, for example, because that's my time. And they do listen to those boundaries, okay? They're not, the two that you've got in particular are not meaning to, they just want to be heard. They want to be recognised and acknowledged that they're there, okay? And your kids are doing that. So they're sort of kind of hanging around because they're being acknowledged and they're liking them. You've actually got really cute little kids too. So they're well-grounded, nice kids. I know that they're kids, so they're going to have their moments, but yours are they're cute little kids, okay? So, if they start talking to you a little bit more about, which is not going to happen, but if they start thinking that or blaming the spirits for if they're doing something naughty, you might need to redirect their own behaviour in that way, okay? Because sometimes kids can try to blame spirit on things. I know my cousin certainly did that, and that wasn't the case at all. So if your kids are doing that, just redirect them and distract them and get them thinking about something else, or assure them that the ghost did not tell them to do that naughty thing, okay? Because your two are not like that at all. They just want to be acknowledged. So if you do have little things that are being moved around the house, don't pay too much attention to it. Don't buy into it. Say you need to leave my things where I leave them, thank you, and be firm with that, and that will bring them back into line. There's no reason for you to move at all. They actually do enjoy you being in that house. Have you still got some stuff that you haven't unpacked yet?
I think so.
Yeah. Are they memories or something? Have you got photo albums or pictures of the kids or paintings that the kids did when they were younger? That kind of feels like memories are in these boxes, or 2 boxes that you need to bring out.
I had a son that passed away when he was 7 weeks old, and I had a son that passed away like 5 years ago. So I have memories of him. I have photos of my grandmother that passed last year. I have, memories from Alabama and in a boxes and stuff. It's not that I unpack them; I just leave them there. So I don't unpack them.
Yeah. Keep them safe. Can you perhaps take the lid off every now and then and just have a chat or let them know, or even speak to, recall some of those memories verbally, or talk to you do talk to your grandma, okay, and just give them a little bit of acknowledgement as well. I think some of it could be a little bit of you being a little bit lonely as well, where you are. I'm not really, I know that you've got your kids around you and some other people around you as well, but sometimes there's a little bit of a loneliness thing going on in the back of your mind for you that could be like home related, bit of homesickness or something. I'm not quite sure what it is, but the boxes are the key to that. So it could be a bit of a healing process for you in those boxes to just take the lid off just for a little while and go through them and hold those memories in your heart and then pack them up again, perhaps. It's a nice house. So do you have are you wanting to put shrubs in your backyard, or little trees or something in your backyard or your front yard, or are they already there?
Yeah, there are trees there that when I moved here, the tree like in front of my house. Well, it's some apartment homes. They look like, but it's trees in the front.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So make sure you water and nurture those, because they keep the energy free in the house as well, okay? You can see that from your front door. Yeah. So really nurture those shrubs and those little trees, okay? That'll keep everything nice and grounded and a beautiful energy going through the home for you. Yeah. Excellent.
Yes,
all right, my darling, do you have any more questions for me?
You said that you were speaking on my gifts or whatnot. I was trying, what do I do to make my gifts stronger? Because I know it's been passed down from generation to generation, and I'm just trying to, my family. Oh, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
With your clairsentient, if you touch things, because you'll tap into psychometry, okay? So that's the way for you forward. So when you touch things, like I'm touching my little selenite, so I can tell you apart from your previous caller, then you touch things and then you'll be able to tap into your clairsentient. So you'll use psychometry, okay? So look that up or drop me a line through my website and I'll be able to give you a hand with that. But that's how you do it. There'll be a touchy-feely thing for you to engage it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
I've been given the hurry up, my darling.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
It? All right, darling. You take care of yourself. Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that's it for Moonstruck at A1R Radio for another week. It goes so fast. This is an absolute joy bringing this to you. Thank you very much. If you'd like to book in for a private channel reading with me, please do on www.insightbyjanita.com. I'm on Facebook as well. I have lots of lives and giveaways and all sorts of things. And of course, if you are a Moonstruck caller, you get a discount on 30 minutes reading, and I will give you an hour instead. All the details are on my website. Please do find me there. And I will see you same time next week in the same beautiful location. I look forward to your time and your energy. Thank you very much.
to my show, Angel Guidance by Lisa. I am happy to be here on the A1R radio network and Moonstruck TV. If you have never met me before, I am Lisa. I am based out of Kansas City in the middle of the United States. Right now it's about 12 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly here, but pretty typical for the Midwest. No snow today, so I'm grateful for that. I am a healer. I am a psychic. I am a medium, and I love to teach about all things spirit. So let me just talk to you a little bit today about something that I do every single day that helps me to get through my day without any stress, without any anxiety. And when I do this, I know things are going to flow. And that's really important, getting into the flow of life. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I set my intentions. And what I mean by that is I get to decide how my day is going to go. And when I decide that, that means all of the universe is going to support me in that decision. And I decide something like this: my day flows in divine harmony and all is well. Isn't that a lovely intention to set for yourself? It is for me. I love to set intentions. Some people wake up in the morning and think about everything that can go wrong, think about all the people they're going to have to deal with that day, and maybe think about how hard those people are to get along with. You really want to shift your thinking there and decide how your day is going to get to go for you, because you know what? You have that power. Start claiming it. So I set my intentions. Second, when I get out of bed, I step into an imaginary bubble. And this imaginary bubble is surrounding me from the bottoms of my feet all the way up to over my head. And I visualize it. And you can even draw it like I just did in the air. If you have a hard time imagining, draw that imaginary bubble and fill it with white light. And intend, like you just did earlier, intend that this bubble is going to protect you from other people's energy. And it's going to bounce, their energy is going to bounce off of it and not going to be able to penetrate. You'll be able to hear them. You'll be able to have compassion for them and hear and listen with your feelings as well. But you're going to be protected because people's energy just kind of pushes out of them and goes in different directions. And if you're all open and not protected, guess what? You're going to absorb that energy and it's going to just sort of sink into you, and you're going to start feeling some things, maybe some of their anxiety, maybe some of their stress. If they're angry, maybe some of that. You know how I know this? Because it happens to me. If I don't protect myself, I'm like a walking sponge. I pick up on other people's energy so easily that I understood at an early age that I needed to protect myself. And once I do that, I don't have that issue anymore. So the next thing I do, so my day flows smoothly, is I cleanse my energy. So when I'm in the shower, or if you want to just do it before you start your day, you don't have to actually be in the shower. Just visualize white light coming in above your head, and just visualize it coming in and flowing in and cleansing everything in your body from the top of your head all the way through your body and out the bottoms of your feet. And what that's doing is it's taking all of that dirty energy, the dust, dirt, and negativity that you may have collected from other people, or you may have actually thought of yourself, because sometimes our thoughts are negative. We want to cleanse all that out. So once you cleanse that out, that means it's going to drain through your body. That cleansing light is going to wash it all away, and it's going to go out the bottoms of your feet down the drain. And so it's really like taking a shower, but an energetic shower. Okay, so those are the first three things. The other thing I do every single day, no matter what, is I ground myself. And what does that mean exactly? Well, visualize yourself as a tree, okay? And if you can visualize yourself as your head sort of up here where the branches are, and your feet and legs are going to be down where the roots are. So visualize your feet or legs as being the roots. And you need to really balance yourself every single day. If you're in your head a lot, if you think about things over and over and over again, you're going to be sort of unbalanced. And there's a way to do a counterbalance, a way to root yourself. And let me tell you, there's a couple ways. First way is you can just take a walk. Just go outside, get some exercise, allow nature to remove any of that excess energy and naturally ground you with the earth. If you can walk barefoot on the grass, even better. It's the other way you can do it, and there are many, but this is the other way I do. If it's raining or cold, like today, it's really cold, you could sit in a chair, visualize energy growing from the base of your spine all the way down through your legs and out the bottom of your feet, deep into the earth. And you want to visualize that energy connecting you to the center of the earth. And when you visualize those roots growing through the bottoms of your feet, you're going to see them grow all the way down into the very core of the earth and anchor there. And you know what an anchor does? It holds that boat in place. The boat may move around a little bit, but you're still going to be secured, meaning you're not going to float off into the ethers and not have a grounded sort of base for yourself. So those are the 4 things I do every single day to help myself get through my day in a very natural, easy way, connected to spirit and allowing flow. First thing, just to review, I set my intentions, how my day gets to go. Second thing, I protect myself, step into my protective bubble of light. Third thing, I cleanse myself in my white light shower, taking all the negativity out through my body, out the bottoms of my feet, down the drain. And the fourth thing I do is ground myself, either in a chair, seated, or taking a walk. Now, these things I suggested do not have to take hours and hours, okay? Everything I suggest can take 10 or 20 seconds, literally. If you want to do the grounding and you walk outside, obviously that would take a little longer, but you could do 15-minute walk. You know, if you can only do it at lunchtime on your break, do it then. It's really important to have all 4 of these things in place to offer relief from anxiety, from stress, from anything that's on your mind. It will lower the stress level of your body. It will connect you with your higher self. And it will allow you to step into the flow of life. So I hope these tips are helpful for you. So I'm going to take a few callers today. And the first person I'm going to speak with today is Alyssa in Sacramento, Kentucky. Alyssa, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, I guess.
Good. Okay. Well, good. Welcome to my show, Angel Guidance by Lisa. Alyssa, what can I help you with today? What's your question?
I'm just wondering if my husband will take me back, let me come back home, either now or for Christmas.
So, Alyssa, have you been in conversation with him? Have you talked to him?
Yeah, he calls me babe every now and then, still tells me he loves me every now and then, asks me what I want for Christmas, stuff like that, but he doesn't give me a definite answer on when I get to come back home, and I just want to know when he's going to or if he is.
And are you feeling guilty about something, Alyssa?
I've hung out with a few men, but I've felt guilty about it, but
Okay, so the separation for you has been over 6 months?
It's been since August, the middle of August this year.
August, September, October, November, December, so 4 months, so about 6 months. And Okay, so what I need you to do, Alyssa, is you need to decide right now that if this is what you want to do, you get to do it, okay? And you're putting all your power and all of your decision making into the hands of somebody else, okay? Now, your husband and you may have had a disagreement about something, and that does happen. However, you are married, right? This is a marriage.
Yes.
So this marriage means you have, need to have balance in your relationship, which means you need to talk about what you are feeling, okay, and where you want to be. Have you told him you want to be back home?
Yes, many times.
Okay, many times. Okay, good. And his response is sort of iffy to you, like he says yes, no, okay. So what I need you to do then is set a date where you're going to know either way if you're going to go back home or not. So have you set a date where you said to him, I need to be back home by December 25th, for example, Christmas? Have you said that to him?
No, I had not said that to him because he doesn't do ultimatums. He would get very angry with me.
Angry with you. Okay. Well, this anger to me feels like there's something unresolved between the two of you, and that's not discussed, that hasn't been talked about, that needs to be brought up. It also sounds like you could actually use someone, like a third party, like someone who's not someone you know, who might be able to be objective about it, to sit down and talk to you too. It doesn't have to be a counselor, but it would be nice if you could have someone who you both respect sit down and sort of be a mediator between the two of you. Is that possible to find someone like that?
It's possible, but my husband doesn't like to bring our relationship up to other people. So that's kind of out of the question most times.
I see. So what I'm hearing you say is that he has all the control.
Basically.
And so with this, have you looked at this separation as an opportunity or as something that is negative?
Negative.
Negative, okay. So if it's negative and that's all you see it as, you're going to keep getting more negative things in your life from him. Did you think, or have you thought about looking at it from a different view? Looking at it is, this is an opportunity for you to release what doesn't serve you. Right now, it looks like you'd be going back into an angry person's home who doesn't really support you and give you the love that you deserve. Does that sound right? Do you want to go back to an angry person's home? Why do you feel?
I want it to be better.
Well, yeah, you want it to be better. Do you feel like he's suddenly going to change overnight?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know with him.
Right. There's a lot of unpredictability with him. And because he's so unpredictable, he keeps you on the fence. And that's where he wants to keep you. It feels like he's not willing to allow you back into your home with him. If that's the case, if someone doesn't want you, do you really want to be with them? Ask yourself that hard question. I know it's not something that you really want to hear, but sometimes we have to really decide who to let into our life. Now, if you allow him to continue to treat this way, I don't feel like my guides are saying he's not going to change. He's not going to change how he's treating you. He's going to keep you on the fence because that's where he wants you. Do you understand that? He wants you on the fence. He's not
going to let me back home, is he?
It doesn't feel like that way to me. It feels like he wants to keep you on the fence. He wants to keep you under his control, but still not completely free you. Do you understand that? He doesn't want to completely let you go. And that is you letting him have power over you, okay? And maybe he did have power over you while you've been married, and maybe that's been the circumstance, but it doesn't have to be that way forever, okay? So you get to decide if you're going to change and go your own way, or you're going to continue this power struggle with him. Because honestly, Alyssa, I don't see it changing for him and how he treats you and allowing you back into your home. And I'm so sorry to tell you that, but it feels very, there's a lot of pushback from him. There's a lot of resistance from him. And you're not honoring yourself. Love yourself enough to recognize that you need to set a date when you're going to decide it's him or someone else, okay? It's him or you giving yourself the honor and the path out, okay? I'm so sorry to tell you that, but I really don't see this changing, okay?
So
Alyssa,
if I go back home, he's still going to be the same.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Do you see him even let me come back home at all?
I feel like it would only be temporary. I don't feel like it would be a permanent situation. I feel like there's a possibility in the springtime that he would allow you back in, but I don't feel like it's going to go back to the same way you had before, which I know is sad because we don't like to let go of things that have been sort of comfortable. But sometimes we have to in order to grow, right? And sometimes we have to do that for the benefit of not just us, but our children, our family, etc. So I'm not seeing this happen, and I'm very sorry to tell you. Okay?
All right.
I'm so sorry. All right? Please know that you deserve the best. And if he's not going to give it to you, you will find someone who can. Okay? Consider that there's someone else out there for you, and it's not him. All right? Look at him as giving you an opportunity to find that person. All right, Alyssa?
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Sure. Thank you, Alyssa. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay, Tiffany in Delavan, Illinois. Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
I've seen better days.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Tiffany, tell me what's going on.
I'm going through a financial situation right now. Also, too, I've been dealing with somebody off and on for 14 years, and I really don't know where it's heading, and I would like if something in the future can let me know if I need to keep going or let that go.
Okay. And
it's been going on for too long, too.
Okay. So, all right. So repeat to me what's been happening for 14 years. What were you letting go or deciding?
I need to know if I need to decide to let it go or not. It's a relationship that I had for 14 years.
Your relationship, but it's also financially connected. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I haven't. Separate from that, I have financial problems right now.
Okay. All right. So let me see. I feel like, first of all, I feel like you have an inner voice that you're not paying attention to. I feel like you're pretty intuitive, actually. Would you understand that?
Explain it a little bit to me.
Yeah, it feels like you're intuitive and you're not really allowing that intuitive information, which is our higher guidance, to come through and to guide you. And so when that higher guidance is not in place, we kind of react to our circumstances versus moving forward with intent and purpose. Okay? I feel like there is, with your relationship, it feels like there's a large imbalance there. And it feels like you really need to decide and get off the fence, because what you're doing is, I feel like you've been debating this for quite some time. Like in your heart, you know there's something not quite right for yourself, or how you get to move through life, what makes you happy. It feels like you've been debating this and been on this fence for a long time. I feel like when you reach 16 years, okay, and I know this is going out a couple years, but I feel like at 16 years, that's when it's going to be completed. That's what I feel. There will be completion in 16 years. Now, to me, that means there's going to be this decision you can make at that time where all of the energy, all of the power, everything you put into this will either just dissolve and you'll go your separate ways, or you will decide to put up with it and leave it and stay with it. All right? I don't know what's going on in 16 years total. That would be 2 more years from now. But I feel like at 16 years, that's where it's going to go away. It will be a point in your life where it's like we have these points in our life where there are milestones where we can, on our soul path, we can walk on our soul path, and like it's like a highway, and we get off at exits, okay, and take another turn. Or we can decide, because we have free will, to stay on that same highway and keep doing things the old way. In 2 more years,
it's like I always feel like a rebound, and everything I wanted always was given to other females.
Right.
And
it's like
some things that he has taken from me that had made me feel less of a woman to myself.
Yeah. You know what I think also, in 2 more years from now, it's going to be so painful and it's going to be so apparent that you need to stop what you're doing. You need to change directions. And, I don't know how that's going to look at that time, but it's going to be very obvious to you that that's the direction you need to go to move on. Now, knowing this allows you to get your house in order, meaning decide, get your ducks in a row. If you were to leave at that time, in 2 years, if you were to leave, then you could prepare and decide how to take care of yourself the best, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all those ways. Okay? So if you're going to decide that, you need to act on it. You need to see into the future how you want your life to look. All right? What's it going to look like in 2 years?
My biggest thing is to move away from here. That's funny you said that.
You need to definitely see how that will look. This is the thing. So many people feel like we don't have our own power, like we have no control over the circumstance or the situation, but we really do. It's a lot of times we are picking up on other people's energy and they kind of manipulate us. They manipulate us into believing this and believing one way when in your heart it's really not. But you allow that. And it's not a bad thing, and it's not anything that you should beat yourself up over. But it's also deciding where you draw the line. What do you put up with? Where are you going to stop? Where are you going to stop for yourself? Where are you going to give yourself the love and support that you deserve? If you move on, I'm telling you there's someone else for you. and it's not doing you any favors to stay. All right? It's decide, you're talking about moving away, decide how that's going to look. Visualize how you would see yourself in a year or 2 years. It may come faster if you work on it now. So understand that if you decide that you want to see yourself in a loving, mutually beneficial, supportive relationship, put it out there that that's how it's going to be for you. And start seeing yourself. And how do you feel when you're in that relationship? How does it look? How does it feel? Do the same thing for your finances. If you're feeling like your finances and your money situation and your job, or however that's all connected, is not supporting you, how does it get to be for you? Start setting intentions. Start deciding how it's going to get to go for you. You have more power than you realize. I feel like you sell yourself short. Does that sound right? Because start deciding how things are going to get to go for you, because my dear, you have the power. Okay? I really, really do wish you all the best. I'm sorry I don't have any more time right now, but I do want to let you know, if you have any questions, message me on my Facebook page at Pure Love Energy. I am going to be starting up a Facebook group in 2020, helping people with situations like this. Okay? Tiffany, thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
You're welcome.
Stay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we had a couple questions today about relationships, and you know what I heard is that I hear people who aren't claiming their power. And that's nothing to be ashamed about, and I'm not beating anyone up for it, because I've been there, I've done that, not claim my own power. But I will tell you this, you can do it, and I will teach you how, and I'm going to start doing that in 2020. So pay attention and listen for details surrounding that opportunity for everybody, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today on my show, Angel Guidance by Lisa. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. How are you, everyone? I have been on a little bit of a hiatus for the last 6 weeks, trying to recover from a pretty nasty illness and juggling some family turmoil and issues on top of that. So it's been a really interesting few weeks, but I am back and I am ready to talk with you and hear what you all have to say. So we just came off of Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. and, Thanksgiving, all about being thankful, being with friends and family, and all the great things that go along with that. And, that brought me to kind of not only what I've been dealing with in my personal life, but then Thanksgiving on top of that made just this great topic to talk about tonight. So as we go through life, we're going to hit bumps and hiccups along the way. Some of them are going to be a little more extreme than others. And some of them we're tearing our hair out. Some of them we slide right through, no big deal. But it's those times when things pile up. It's like, it seems to be like one thing after another, after another, after another. And pretty soon you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders and you don't know how to crawl out from all of this, what seems to be bad luck and negativity. And I personally pride myself on being a very positive person in life. And it takes a lot to get me down. And so when I get to that point, it makes me stop and think about how I need to find more things to be grateful in life. Now that, when you're that kind of far down, is so much easier said than done. I will be the first one to tell you, so much easier said than done. So what do you do when you find yourself in that spot? Because sometime during that peak of your life, you're going to find that. There's just going to be things that go on. How do you cope with that? How do you find the gratitude? How do you come back to that space? And I have to tell you, I had to dig really, really, really deep, probably deeper than I have ever had to dig in my life. And so it really made me aware of some of the things that helped me get through that. Now, what are some of those things, you ask? So, I did a lot of meditation when I could. Now, granted, I was sick a good portion of that time. So trying to meditate was not my thing. But once I kind of got out of that and I was feeling a little bit better, meditation really helped, really helped me get to a different level. Leaning on my friends and family and those trusted ones around us. We all have those people. We all have those trusted people that we would just hold so close and know that they are with us through thick and thin. So lean on those people. And, maybe you don't need anybody to give you any answers. You're just looking for someone to hear you out, just to let it all out so that it's not in you anymore. It's not in your body. You're releasing it and letting that go. And so I relied a lot on my friends, my very close friends, to help me get through that. And I also tried to do what I call, and I've talked a little bit about this on some past shows, ramblings of gratitude. And what is that? So ramblings of gratitude are picking either one thing or a multitude of things that you're thankful and grateful for. They could be as simple as the shoes on your feet. So it can be super simple. You could go into something and you just have to carry the thought for 17 seconds. And if you carry that thought for 17 seconds, you kind of feel a little bit of a lift. If you can carry that thought, or even if you can carry that through your voice and continue to talk about it for a minute, you raise even higher in your vibration. If you can talk about it or think about it and visualize it for 3 minutes, that's when all the manifestation, all the good things that come to you, that's where all that yummy juiciness comes from. So what does this look like? So I'm going to take the example of my car. And you just start by saying, I love my car. I am so happy and grateful for my car. I know when I get in my car, it's going to take me from point A to point B because it's so reliable. I'm so grateful and thankful for my car. I get in it and it's nice and toasty warm after it's been running. And I know that I'm safe and I'm warm and I'm going to get from point A to point B. And I'm so happy and grateful and thankful for my car. I love my car. I love the way the seats feel when you get inside of it and you sit down and you start going down the road. It's so comfortable. It's so plush. I absolutely love my car. I love how I can go put gas in it and it runs just perfectly. I am so grateful and so thankful for my car. I'm so grateful for what it can do. In the summer, when it's hot, I can stay cool. In the winter, when it's warm or cold, I can stay warm. I'm so grateful and thankful for my car. So that's just an example. You always want to start off with, I am so thankful for, You always want to end with, I am so thankful for. Now, some of you are really great visualizers, so you can visualize things in your head. You can see yourself sitting in the car. You can see how it feels. You can see it going down the road. You can see it driving from your house to your office. And that works great. For those of you who don't have that great of, the imagination, that's a hard one for you. You can talk it out just like I did. You can talk it out silently, or you can talk it out aloud. Now, voice projection is going to be way more powerful in the universe than just saying it inside and keeping it inside. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't work the same way. You could even write it out. You could write it out on a piece of paper, why you're so grateful and thankful for something. Now, again, I just focused on my car. You don't have to do that. You can be thankful for the shoes on your feet. You can be thankful for your car. You can be thankful for your job. And you can just keep going and going and going. Whatever makes the most sense for you, whatever it takes to raise your vibration and get you out of that space that is not good for you and no fun, because you don't want to stay there for very long. You want to bounce right back out of that. So try that, the ramblings of gratitude. See how long you can keep it going, because as you work with it and as you practice it, 3 minutes, believe me, 3 minutes will go just like that, and you'll see how easy it really is. So if you have any questions about the ramblings of gratitude, how to do it, what it looks like, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook at Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or you can catch me over on, my other Facebook page is Your Time to Shine, or my website is www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, and I'd be happy to help you get through that process. So now we are going to head to the phone lines. We have Kura in New Wales, Australia. Oh, Lynn, pardon me, I read that wrong. Lynn, good evening and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So what can we do for you this evening?
I would just like to know what's ahead in the next 6 months, please.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last part again?
I would just like to know what's ahead for me in the next 6 months, please.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just tune into your guides and see what they have for you. There's going to be a little bit of silence while I tune in here, but be assured that I haven't gone anywhere and I'll be right back with you, okay?
Thank you.
Wow. So immediately my guides are showing me that you are going through a huge transition. It's a very big transition. Hang on, let me see if they can show me exactly what that transition is. They're showing me a crossroad. Do you feel like a split in the road? Are you feeling like you've come to this crossroad and you don't know where you're headed?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So what they're telling me is that either direction you take at this crossroad is going to be okay. They said what you need to decide is you really need to drop down into your heart and think about what it is that's really going to fulfill you in that journey. Because they're showing me that no matter which way you go, it will be okay. One is probably going to be a little bit more fulfilling for you than going the other direction. So
okay.
I'm getting the feeling. I'm getting the feeling that it might be a job-related transition.
Oh, okay.
That there is. Have you been thinking about changing jobs, or has that been kind of swirling around, or has something been catching your attention and making you stop and think, and you think, I wonder?
Not with work, no.
Okay. Well, they're showing me that there is some kind of a transition coming up. Whether that is a transition within the same company, within the same, like maybe they're showing me it's like what you're doing right now, there's like another direction or another offshoot that you can take. And it's very possible that it's still within the company you're with. It's just a little bit different direction than what you're going right now.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that they want to show me here. So one moment. They're showing me that you have a healing side to you. Do you practice like Reiki or some type of healing modality right now? Or have you been thinking about that?
Yes, I do Reiki.
You do Reiki. Okay.
Yes.
They're showing me that you need to do a lot more with your Reiki business. Are you doing it as a business, or are you just kind of just playing around with it? You know,
No, I'm just doing family and friends now.
Okay, because so they're kind of showing me. So, do you have another job besides Reiki as well?
I'm not working at the moment, but I usually do pet work, taking the pets to the hospital.
Okay. Because what they're showing me is that you can take your Reiki to there's like a whole nother level that it's almost like you're holding back a little bit on your Reiki. And they're saying that you need to get out there. People need you. People are waiting for you to come. But you need to be able to get out there and put yourself out there. They're showing me that you've been a little bit hesitant to put yourself out there and be that vulnerable person with your business and with Reiki.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
they said that.
Right.
Okay. They're just showing me that you can be so much more with that than what you're allowing yourself to be.
Yes, I work with animals.
Okay. They're showing me like you and connecting to different people around your community. They're showing me that it's almost like you need to get like a networking group, or you need to find common people who can work with you and kind of pass your name out there. I'm also being shown that your guides are saying, ask for help. Don't do this on your own. Ask for help. Write down what it is that you want your business to look like. And then give it to your guides. Give it to your guides and say, here's my outline for my business. Show me and help me get through this. Because they say, you're trying to take this on your own, and they could help you with this.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
They're showing me you have a very, very bright future. I mean, like when I first connected with your guides, it was like this huge explosion. And it wasn't an explosion that's like a devastating explosion. It was like an explosion of bursting out, of, you know, connecting and getting out there. 2020 is going to be a really powerful year. And so I'm seeing that, I'm kind of seeing that with you and what's transpiring. And it's like right now, this month, and probably into January, they're showing me is when you need to start looking at your business, start creating what that looks like. You know, write down how many people am I going to see during the week, and actually start putting them down like on a calendar, like you have those people there signed up, and you say on Saturday from 12 to 1, I'm going to be seeing a customer. I'm going to be seeing a client. And from 3 to 4, I'm going to see another client. So get like a calendar and a schedule and just have fun with it, play with it. Say, this is where I want my people to come. This is where I want my customers.
Yes, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very high, powerful, exciting energy around you and around the Reiki. And I can see how the animals really, really, they just take to you. I mean, it's like they're butter in your hands. I mean, they just melt. So it's a fantastic, beautiful, beautiful thing. So work with that. Really, really outline what it is you want to see this become. And then call in your guides and your angels and say, here it is on paper. Help me with this. Show me.
Yeah, a little bit like manifesting.
Exactly like manifesting. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, could I ask which guide you spoke with, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Could I ask which guide you spoke with, please?
Ask which.
Which guide you spoke with or connected to?
Oh, which side?
Which guide?
Oh, which guide?
Yes.
You have many of them. Archangel Michael comes really heavily into the forefront.
Yes.
He is really out in the forefront for you. I see other angels around you as well. And I see Archangel Azrael around you as well. So, you know, you can call on them, or if there's somebody else, if there's another guide, if there's a loved one that you know of, you know, feel free to call on them. It doesn't have to be Archangel Michael or, you know, anyone like that. But I can feel their presence around you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anything else that I can help you with tonight?
Oh, yes, there is actually. I've applying for a housing allocation. Just wondering how will that go?
So for a new place to live, okay.
For a permanent housing.
So is this a place that you've been looking at for quite some time, or that you've been going back and forth with it for a while?
I've been going back and forth with the application. They just keep sending more and more details that they need.
Okay.
Yes.
They're showing me you haven't found it yet. There's one coming up.
Coming up, though, is there a length of time, or long or short, or?
So they're showing me that it's coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, they're showing me that it's going to be sooner rather than later. The one little caveat that we'll put on that is that their time frame and our human time frame don't always coincide. But I'm feeling like that it's probably within the next 6 months that something is going to come up. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are very welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with tonight?
No, I think that was all I wanted to know. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'm really being shown that a lot is going to be happening in the next 6 months for you. So it feels very, very exciting. So do a lot of manifesting, a lot of reflection, a lot of writing, and of course, ask your guides for help.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Lynn. Have a wonderful evening.
Yes, you too. Thank you again. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that almost wraps it up here for us tonight. Again, if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me over at my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. I can also be reached on my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or Your Time to Shine. And I have been very lackadaisical about posting any new and exciting things coming up, but I will have some new upcoming classes coming up in the first of the year. And so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be changing things up a little bit for all of you who have been following me so diligently. And I want to just put a shout out there to those who have reached out to me during these last 6 weeks with encouragement and prayers and all the wonderful, wonderful things that you have all done to support me during this time. And remember, ramblings of gratitude, huge, huge. And don't be afraid to sit down and work with it. And sit down with a friend or a partner and do it, because it's very, very powerful when you do it with somebody else, when you sit down and you have to look them in the eye and talk about these ramblings of gratitude. It can be very, very powerful. So don't be afraid to get out there, raise your vibration, explore all the great things that you are so grateful and thankful for. And as we're going into the holiday season, things are going to get crazy and people could be cranky. But just remember, we're all made of the same fabric. We're all going through something. Be patient with each other, love each other through it, and remember your gratitude, and remember your I can't even say it, ramblings of gratitude. So that is all for me this evening, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you again next Thursday night.
Hi, I'm Faye, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello, everybody. I'm Amber Price from Sapphire Souls here on Moonstruck TV and A1R Radio. I'm so happy to be back this week and ready to go. I hope everybody had a refreshing week full of mindfulness and maybe time to reset. And so today we're going to be talking about some interesting things about the energy in the universe today. This week has been absolutely crazy for the energy that's been just kind of boiling around everybody. And so as I'm doing my light work and I'm seeing clients this week and I'm navigating through my own personal life and all of the things that are going along with it, it is just more obvious that we're in a shift. So last time we met, we talked about how the fall changes things and how we, the trees remind us that as the the leaves lose, oh my goodness, the trees lose their leaves, that we have a time for change. And so basically, this is reminding us that we have to really start to let go of some things. And so when we do let go of these things, what happens? Well, it creates more openness and more opportunity to feel lost or disconnected. And that's necessary. You have to be able to feel something. And what we want to remember is that when we do feel something that might sound negative, it doesn't mean that it's bad or that you shouldn't be actually feeling those ways. And so when you feel disconnected, it really just does remind us to be able to make room for something, see what it is that's knocking on our door, and allow it to come on in. And so when we talk about the spiritual energy of this week's universal energies, there seems to have brought a lot of anxiety for people, a lot of tension, a lot of feelings down. And so when we talk about how we're supposed to navigate through that and really feel like you can still get up and go every single day, it's really just time to self-reflect. And when we are able to reflect, we're able to kind of get a little bit more of a grasp on what it is that the universe is trying to say to us. So today, we're going to talk about our higher self. And our higher self is really just that inner voice that gives you that gut feeling that, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that, or I was right. And that's kind of the idea that, you follow your gut instinct. It's like when, you were in school, maybe some of you are still in school, which is amazing. It's always great to be a lifetime learner. And your teacher always said, don't change your answer. If you have multiple choice, you pick and go with your first gut instinct. And so this is what we're guided by. Our spiritual higher self is giving us that, compass to guide us. And so when you have time to actually sit in silence or to allow yourself to really spend time doing something that you really like to do, it gives you that time to really reflect on what it is that you might be lacking in your life or what you want more of, and to really set the goals and really achieve them. And so this week we found that the energies were really talking about self-doubt. And so the ego or the mind is really supposed to create a very safe environment for ourselves. And so the brain is doing what it's supposed to do, and the ego is doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to say, wait a minute, this is way too risky and I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to put myself out there. And so the brain is doing what it's supposed to do. But through that energy, the dense energy of our mind and of our ego, you have the spiritual soul, the higher self, that's really trying to get through. And it actually isn't that difficult to hear it. We just have to choose to hear it. And so when we do, we are often faced with more doors that are opening, or windows that are opening you get to crawl through. The more you say yes to opportunities, the more opportunities that you're going to get. So the more that you're open to abundance, the more abundance you're going to get. And so it really is a choice. And that choice is really important because you can choose a whole bunch of different things that your life is going to be made up of. And so it may be a mix of choosing to deny yourself of something that you really do deserve. And so how I'm seeing it, and the universe is kind of reminding this week that the only way you're going to achieve the goals that your higher self needs to achieve here in the physical world, in this human experience, is if you actually take the time to be able to adjust your plan and say, I am no longer going to fear taking a risk, because every single person here on this planet is here doing the exact same thing. And so what happens is, other people might be in our ear and saying like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or, you can't make a living out of something like that. I was speaking to a few people this week in my life coaching, and it's an often said thing to people that, oh, you can't make a living being an artist. You can't do photography. Oh my goodness, what are you thinking? You can't switch your career halfway through your work life. And so basically, challenge yourself to say, why can't I? What's the biggest thing that I'm going to lose in trying? Because I guarantee the only thing that you're going to lose is that dread every day of going through the same cycle, the same routine, the same everything. And so when you actually take a leap of faith and put your whole heart and soul into something, you can never lose because your soul is guiding you. But you can hear that self-doubt, right? So you've got, well, you know what? I make enough money, so I should just be happy with what I have. At least I have a job, or at least my relationship is not that bad, and I should just be grateful for, what I have. So it doesn't matter what it is in your life you're trying to change. If it's deciding to go back to school, you can talk yourself out of it. If it's deciding to change careers, you can talk yourself out of that too. But I can tell you something, and this is from our spiritual team, so our guides, our angels, those that are wise and trying to share this information with us. It is as easy to talk yourself into it and to really follow your life's purpose and your plan. So really try to manifest what it is that you want to achieve. Now, when we're talking about how does our higher self help us? So Amber, how does it help me to understand how I'm supposed to connect to my loved ones more by just deciding to change my job or to make a change in my life in any capacity? And the answer has been given to me. And so after asking the same question, because of course, I've always had these same questions that you guys will have. The answer is, if your energy is consumed with a negative vibe, whether it's worry or fear or concern, any of those things cause a very, very dense energy. And so you can't communicate with your higher self. You can't hear from your angels and guides. You can't hear from your loved ones in spirit as easily and as fluidly if you were to actually be living on your authentic path. And so this is getting the fulfillment, the satisfaction, being an inspiration and a leader, and really taking control of your life. And so it's really reminding us this week that if you're feeling uncomfortable in any area of your life, you need to make a change. And so this is just kind of like putting those voices in your head aside. Maybe it's not, just the voices in your head. Maybe it's actually friends and family or other people that you've talked to about your goals that they're just like, this is maybe scary or risky. And so the only way that you're going to figure this out is if you actually give it a shot. So we've got today, fall is reminding us to change. So how we would understand if we're supposed to be changing right now is if we're feeling uncomfortable, if we're really, really getting anxious feelings or sadness or feeling of disconnect. And so more and more, we're feeling like this is something that I have to choose to live with. And that is not necessarily the case either. And so when you actually look at what it is that you want to change, then it's easy. You've got, what is my timeline? How do I get there? And you're not alone, because you shouldn't ever feel like you need to do something alone. Whether you can depend on someone that is already in your life, or whether you find a mentor in your area that you're actually able to depend upon to see how they did it, and to join forces with other like-minded people that are able to kind of build this up for you. And then you've got the action. So you've got your timelines, you've got your mentor, you've got your like-minded people, and now you actually need a plan of action. And so what steps are you taking, your personal accountability, in order to make those changes? Because when you're coming for a psychic reading or a medium reading and you're looking for your loved ones or your spirit guides to give you guidance, they're only going to be able to give you insight into certain things, and all of it resolves around if you're able to make the commitment or take that first step. So they cannot deliver things to you that you're not willing to accept or you're ready to take on. So don't forget that when we're talking about what can you tell me about the future, and how can my family and friends or my spirit guides help me? Well, they can definitely show you different paths. They can light up different ways for you to kind of see things from a different perspective and maybe have some great ideas and insight into this. But it's up to you in your human experience to take those actions. And so the other thing about action is that you really need to change your action in order to actually change how you're feeling. And so when we do get stuck in these ruts, and I'm talking about like getting into the monotonous, like, oh, I've got to go to my job every single day, or I wake up and I do the same thing and it's over and over and over, and I really just can't crack this. And, something must be wrong with me because it's just the same thing over and over, and everything is happening to me, and how come it's all about me, and I must have done something wrong in a previous life, or I'm being punished for something. Those are all ways that your ego is validating your feeling of safety in this rut, or in this safe zone that you've created for yourself, because you already know what that feels like. So we already know that it's comfortable here. We may not like it, but we already know what it does to us, and so we stay there. And so what happens is, if it looks like we have to change something, we might actually feel like it could be better for us, but what happens is we've never been there before. So our ego will say, whoa, I don't know how that's going to make me feel, and I already know that this is comfy, so I'm going to stay right here. So the only way to get through that, though, is to make the leap and to actually get yourself out of that situation and into a new situation in order to feel that feeling. And so it's going to take some time to reprogram yourselves, right? Because you've got already maybe days or weeks or years or decades of really having that same role in your life that this thing has provided you. So whether it is the job, or it's the relationship, or it's caring for sick family members, you already know what that role provides for you. And so now you need to trust, what does my life look like without having that in my life? Like, who am I now? And so it's not as simple as, your friends say, oh, well, quit your job. It's okay. Go ahead. You're going to have fun. It's going to be great. Just try. But the other aspects include, really, it's a new routine for you. It's new people. It's a new community, which brings new energy, which you have to adjust to. You have to learn, which takes energy and is very tiring, as you know. And so when you're adjusting or changing your plan and making your goals, make sure you allow time in order to really be able to adjust to all of those things. Because if you're not, you're setting yourself up to kind of get back into that comfort zone, and you might want to bail out and kind of be like, that sucked. I didn't have a good experience, and I really, really feel disappointed because, you know what, everybody was right. I didn't make it work, and so here I am again in the same thing, and nothing ever works for me. And so your spirit guides and your angels and your whole spiritual team are here today to remind you that this week in particular in the universe, it is really, really challenging you to take that leap into something new, or at least to start making the decisions that in your self-aware of what is it that you're actually benefiting from in your current life, and what could you be doing to benefit even more. And so you could have everything already sorted out. You have already taken all these leaps and you're really into it. And you're like, Amber, I've had my goals. I've set my timelines. I've got my action. I'm in it. I'm doing it. I love it. But I don't know what now because I've been doing this. And now I'm like, I feel like something's lacking still. And so that's how you're ascending, because you can't stay in one thing for too long. So recently doing a meditation, I had asked, because one of the things that I find interesting is, here in Canada, in Ontario, some kids are about 17, 18 years old when they graduate grade 12 high school. And at that point, they're really supposed to know what it is that they want to do with the rest of their life career-wise. And in most cases, by grade 9 or 10, they're supposed to be at 14, 15 years old, really setting up what classes they're even taking in order to get to that goal in grade 12, to be able to be connected to post-secondary education to get to that goal. So if you're thinking about the fact that you don't even really know who you are at that point, and who you are at 17, 18, 19 years old is going to be very different than who you are at 27, 28, 29 years old. And so when this happens, you can't expect that you're going to be okay with the one career choice for the rest of your life. So this is something that during my meditation, they really helped enlighten, because what I've noticed in my career as a life coach and a psychic and a medium is that most people are not fulfilled with the job that they're doing because it's not what their soul's purpose is. And so if I know what my soul's purpose is, then I have fulfillment, which equals success. And so when I have a successful life, it doesn't matter how much money you're earning. It doesn't matter how many kids you have or how many cars you have parked in your driveway. You have the energy that's radiating out of you, and it screams satisfaction, fulfillment. It's just radiating like the sun from your energy. So it's really just deciding to know. You can pick your career out of high school, and you can do it for 5 to 10 years. And in 5 to 10 years, if you're starting to feel the itch and you really need to make the changes, you might just have to tweak your area that you're actually in. So if you're already in healthcare, maybe you're going from, one level of nursing to another. Or if you're in law, maybe you're going from, legal assistant to lawyer. It doesn't matter. You could completely switch. You could be a lawyer and then all of a sudden want to open a restaurant and completely abandon law and just completely go into a different field altogether. And this is okay. And so we really have to get rid of that notion that the disappointment is coming along with those changes. People feel like if I make a change in my career and I don't know what I'm doing, or I've been flip-flopping between careers or jobs, that it kind of puts off an energy that, I'm flighty or I'm indecisive or I really don't know what I'm doing. And there's a lot of time and energy and potentially resources that are wasted in going through these ventures. But what actually is being told and taught to us by this is that your soul is challenging you to put yourself first and to put your needs first. And when you do that, you can serve the community, the world, humans around you with much more intensity and like fulfillment and purpose. And so the meaningfulness behind the work that you're doing goes from here to way up here. And so when that happens, you become successful, because if you can get your role in life and really have the passion behind it, that's what gets you success. That's what gets you fulfillment. And so from there, that's when you get to navigate the map of your next part of your life, and it takes you in whatever direction that you want. And so right now is the time to really start crafting up a plan to decide. And I really feel that there are too many people right now that are really deciding to just play it safe and stay where they are and really not rock the boat and really put themselves out there because it's uncomfortable. And so what I say is, it's short-term discomfort. And so if I'm looking at, changing my job, I'm just using careers because this is actually the week in which people are being tested for this. So if I change my job, I might have 3 to 6 months of discomfort. But if I stay where I am guaranteed to have 15, 25, 35 years of discomfort. And so really just kind of weigh it out, because if it's really just a short-term commitment, you're going to get somewhere in the long run. The other thing is that when you want to communicate to figure out what it is that your life purpose is, you don't just have one. Like, people think that it's just one life purpose that you're here to achieve. And sometimes that is true for some souls, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you might have multiple purposes. And so, for instance, I knew that from a very young age, probably 3 years old, I was meant to be a mom. And so that was just something that I knew. If I could have had 12 children, I probably would have. And so, I joke about that all the time, and I just say I would have just kept going. And so, I also know that I'm supposed to be a light worker. And so this did take me some time to figure out along my career. And so when this comes up, it's not a choice. I don't have to choose to be a mom or a light worker. And I don't have to choose between those things. It's a mesh. It's what I'm supposed to be achieving. And so, so all of you might have this same situation in which you're like, I really love doing this, but I really love doing this, and I can't choose between the two. And your soul is not asking you to. It's not asking you to choose. It's asking you to make room for everything. So, how do you know what your life's purpose is? How do you hear it? How do you get to the point where you feel like you even know that what you're doing, even if you have passion for it, is true? And so this is a few pointers. If you can actually reflect on what makes you happy when you're not being paid, that's your number one purpose in life. So if you absolutely love to garden and you get joy and fulfillment out of it, and you're like, I could work outside every single day of my life. Maybe you're really meant to be in horticulture, landscaping, design, architecture. And so this is something that you kind of have to decide. It might not be the traditional sense of it. You might not be able to think that, maybe I physically can't handle doing this job every single day. Well, why are you thinking it has to be the same as what you're doing? All you have to get to is that industry, to that passion that you have, and create what makes you sing and what makes your soul sing. And so a lot of times the most successful people are the ones that are really taking something they enjoy doing or are very intuitively drawn to do to help other people, and they just started doing it, and it became their career, it became their passion and their life's purpose. And so you don't have to stick with tradition, is what I'm saying. You don't have to be a teacher, a lawyer, a veterinarian, a doctor, a financial advisor. All of those ones are the ones that, even when you do career counseling, those are the ones that keep popping up. There's not usually things outside of that. And when they are, there's a big gap between what it is. You've got the high professional levels of education, and then you might go right down to the very technical levels or lower. And so what we're missing is what's in between all of that, and what can I do to change the way that people see how work in the community is valuable. And so that's a lot of times where people have worked their whole entire life, and they've decided that all of a sudden, what actually makes me proud and fulfilled is by helping others in a very not profitable way. And so sometimes people will dedicate the rest of their retired life to volunteering, fundraising, and working with not-for-profits. And so this is what makes them sing, and they take that and they run with it, and they become very successful for that cause. Okay, so you've got to look at what it is that you enjoy doing when you're not being paid. Number one. Number two, give yourself time. There's no rush. You've already been doing this for X number of days, weeks, years, months. And so there's no rush to get moving in order to jump off a cliff that you don't know there's a net at the bottom. So you always should have a plan. And by saying this, you don't just make quick decisions. You have a plan, you make a choice, you do the thing and execute it successfully. And so when you're looking at this and you're making the plan and you're taking the time to do it, you also need the time to understand what it incorporates. And so you might have to do meditation, going for walks, quieting your brain. Some people love doing dishes or, having a bath. And those things will actually allow you to really successfully hear your higher self. Because when you're talking, you're not listening. And when you're not listening, you're missing cues that are extremely important. They might be giving you information like, okay, don't take this job, even though you're being offered it doesn't feel right. And the panic sets in. Oh man, I need any job, so I'm just going to take this, even though you knew right away, your soul was saying, this does not feel good to me. So number 3, feel what you feel. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, go back to that, listen to yourself, listen to your higher self, because it knows exactly where you're supposed to be. And then you might have those feelings of deja vu. So all of a sudden you're sitting in this job you absolutely love and you took it and you're so happy, and you're maybe in a board meeting or something and you're like, whoa, I've had this happen before. This is deja vu. This is your soul's way of saying, you did it, you're on the right path, you got here, you did it. But not at all does it mean that in 6 months, you're actually not going to change this, that this is something that you're stuck in. You're always evolving, you're always changing, you're always moving. And you can attest to that because technology is always changing and moving and grooving, and we're always keeping up with technology. So trust yourself, trust the plan, really just think of yourself as, what is my higher self doing? Is it programmed like, a computer technology piece? And so so often we need to update this, and we need to really just kind of allow a download and an update. And so when you're doing all of these things, I want you just to trust in the process. Work with hearing your higher self this week. And so when you do that, you're going to be able to really hone in on what it is that your soul desires. And that's what life is. It's fulfillment and finding what you can do to contribute to the community. I am so excited to be able to bring this message to you. Thank you to Moonstruck TV. See you next week.
Trying out this new comfy cozy blanket. We're trying that out today. So glad you're here. As we all know, sometimes there are little blips in our day. I had to go emergency babysit, and it's fine, a toddler, a male toddler today. So I got here about 5 minutes before the show, unusual for me. And then I reached into my purse, and here are my headphones. Somebody very charmingly did kind of a 1960s pop art site-specific arrangement with these. But what was also, and I think this is so sweet, he also gave me a lovely parting gift. And I'd like to share it. I think he thought I needed a makeover, so this would be, yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to be pretty much doing this throughout the show and singing, I'm my own grandpa. Anyway, that was fun. So you'll be able to hear me a little better in a minute. I should have had an OCD friend come over and do this for me. Have you ever noticed that your friends are really like obsessive compulsive? If they will sit there and they'll take your headphones away from you and they will do this with them. I don't know why. So hi, welcome. Big astrological news, which is that Jupiter, that big, happy, benevolent, what do they call them? Big round things. Sumo wrestlers. Planets. Okay. That big, happy planet moved into Capricorn, or it's just about to. Now, when Jupiter moves into, for instance, a sign, so when Jupiter, it makes that sign sort of doing things that are associated with that sign kind of happy and lucky. If you have that sign in your chart, it sort of lights that part up for you. Jupiter in Capricorn is going to be very good for Capricorns so it will make people perceive them as, and I mean this lovingly to all my Capricorn friends, less annoying and more kind of useful and attractive. I love Capricorns. It's the most misunderstood astrological sign because they come across sometimes they can come across very kind of reserved, saddest conscious, or have a need to be in control on the outside. Underneath, they are dancing around in plaid undershorts wearing like moose antlers in their head. I mean, in a metaphysical and interior way. Anyway, so if you like astrology at all, you can go look your sign up, go look your chart up and see where Capricorn falls in your chart, because wherever that is, that's going to be what lights up and is an area where you have very good luck. And hopefully one that doesn't involve toddlers. The other thing that happened, we had a nice new moon recently. A new moon is a good time for starting things. I've been recommending this wonderful woman, Sarah Prout, has something called the Ancient Manifesting Ritual. And she sells it online. Her name is Sarah, Prout. And what she does is you just get these exercises and you do them. I mean, not like this kind, because I wouldn't be talking about it because I don't do that. But you print out this really cool sort of series of exercises to have you look at yourself and what you really want as opposed to what you think you should want or what your parents want. And it's a very useful thing. So I just started doing mine. I realized I wanted to be a lion tamer. My school didn't offer a degree in that. But it's actually, seriously, it's a cool thing to do. And I know we haven't even had the holidays yet, but I like to prepare for New Year's way in advance because 2020 is going to be a really good year. I just have that feeling. And, I'm good at feelings. And you're good at other things. We're going to have our first caller. I don't know if you guys can hear me. And next time you see me, I'm going to be in small claims court with this child. And the answer is yes, I do have a backup pair. This is both of them. Drink like unadulterated gin here. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a great week. And I'm hoping we have a first caller. Dave. Talk to me, Dave. Oh, I love the name Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. How are you?
I'm great. Crystal, could you do this for me so I can just concentrate on you? This thing is messed up. Anyway, nice to hear your voice. And interesting. Tell me your birthday first. You have what? You just sighed. What was that? It's okay. You don't have to tell me the date. I just asked people to tell me their birthday so I can tune in on them. So just the day and month.
February 29th.
Hello, fellow Pisces. Oh, you're a leap year baby. That's so cool. Wow, that's some magic.
Yes.
It's been an
It's
emotional.
been very interesting all of my life.
What's that?
It's been very interesting for me all of my life.
In what way? It must make you feel special.
It's made me very empathic, I believe.
That's certainly what I'm getting. The other thing I'm getting with you is that it also made you strong